Greetings and welcome. My name is Marissa Smith, and I am the Director of Student and Recent Alumni Engagement at the University of Minnesota Alumni Association. And today I'm joined by Cori Bazemore-James, who's the Assistant Vice Provost in the Graduate School Diversity Office. And Cori and I are going to be sharing some advice and tips on how to navigate mentoring relationships. And so Cori's going to kick us off and talk about what is mentoring in the context of graduate school. Cori?
Hi, Marissa. Sure. So mentoring in the context of graduate school, I think has a lot to do with the network that you build. You know, you don't need just one mentor who can hit all of the bases because that's going to be really hard to find. Really, I think it's about identifying what all needs do you have, and that will change as the years go on. You may have more needs come up, or you have something that's a need now that you won't need as much later. But you identify mentors based on the needs that you have and kind of focus each of those relationships on specific needs. And you build yourself a mentor network, and that can be a large network of folks that you reach out to at various intervals. Maybe some you ask for a meeting once a month. Maybe some you want to meet every other week. And others, it's more of a touch in as you need kind of basis.
What are the key differences between mentors and advisors?
There are definitely some key differences between advisors and mentors. You know, advisors are a very professional relationship that you have. It may be someone who's assigned to you. You may be limited on choice based on the number of faculty there are in your program. So advisors, think of them as a more professional relationship. Maybe, hopefully, in some cases, there'll also be a personal aspect to that relationship, but there's always a power dynamic at play that makes it difficult to really be as personal as you might hope for in a mentoring relationship. So mentors, they also can be personal or professional or both. You know, you get more choice in who you look for a mentor. You can reach out in a number of different places. You can attempt to identify mentors who share social identities as you. That may be more easy to find when you have such a broader network to reach out to. You can ask your mentor about insider knowledge that they can provide about an industry that they're in that you're hoping to get into, or you can ask them for advice on how to work with your advisor if things are difficult or you're struggling with something. So your relationship with your advisor, you may need to be more professional. You may need to keep some things closer to the chest because that power dynamic is at play. Hopefully you have the opportunity to speak about your personal situations in your life and things going on personally, but you know you can do that with mentors that you choose that you can have that more personal relationship with.
Who can be a mentor exactly?
Mentors can be many different people. You can find mentors in lots of different places. You know, a lot of times when we think about finding a mentor, we're thinking about finding someone very senior in the field, someone with lots of experience. And that can be the case, but also it could be someone newer to a field, someone who has recently joined a faculty program, if you're going the faculty route and you want to hear about their more recent experience. A mentor could be someone who is more junior in the field. It could be someone who is recently joining a new career in a new industry or in the faculty, and you're wanting to know what a very recent experience is like going through that process. It could be a peer. You can have peer mentors. It doesn't have to be in a formal mentoring program. You can reach out to peers in your program, maybe someone who has mastered something more quickly than you have and you want to get advice, and you can do that back and forth in a reciprocal way. You might reach out to folks in other degree programs who are having similar experiences to you. So peer mentors, you know, upper level and mentors across different industries. A lot of people can be mentored. It could be someone in your community. It doesn't even have to be someone who has a graduate degree. You can find a community member who has really good advice for how to operate as a professional person or as a good community member. I think also a group of folks that we don't often think of is alumni. Alumni of your institution can also make great mentors. Marissa, what would you say about alumni as mentors?
So as a graduate student at the University of Minnesota, you're already connected to a network that's over 500,000 people worldwide. And at the Alumni Association where I work, we ask alumni from time to time about the benefits that they seek from an ongoing connection to the University of Minnesota. And one of the things that they say more often than not is the opportunity to connect with current students and share their advice and experiences as a mentor. They want to reach back and help out the next generation, have a better experience than they had, to be more successful than they were. Alumni are very willing to give of their time and of their expertise to help current students through their academic and professional journey. And so if you haven't already, start to think about what benefits you might gain from connecting with alumni in your program, alumni from across the university in a wide variety of industries, because they're there and ready to help you achieve your goals. Cori, what advice can you give to students on how to actually find mentors?
There's a lot of ways that you can go about finding mentors. And you can do so in very informal ways, such as just sending an email and saying, hi, I'm a student in X program. I'm really excited about the work that I see you're doing at X industry. I was wondering, could you and I go for a coffee? You can reach out and ask for an informational interview. So someone in an industry that you're interested in, someone's doing cool research that you're excited about, you can reach out and say, hi, I see you're doing this great work. It's an industry I'm interested in. I'd love to learn about what you are working on or what your inspiration has been. Would you be open to an informational interview? I like to use, and when I was at graduate school, was my professional associations. So in my professional associations for the field I was in, I would look for networking events in which I could connect with folks who I've seen through, the conference circuit, who I think, oh, wow, that would be an awesome person to know. Or getting connected to identity-based groups or affinity networks or interest networks within professional associations, and just building relationships with people who are doing excellent work in the association. Another group that you may not always think of is your advisor's former advisees. So people who have graduated before you, who had the same advisor as you, you're kind of in this whole, advisor family tree, essentially. And so you have an automatic built-in connection to them. You can name drop your advisor, and say, hi, I'm so-and-so's current advisee. I see you're working at this place and you're doing great work. I'm wondering if I could connect with you. It'd be great to learn about your journey or your experience in the graduate program. And of course, again, the Alumni Association has great resources for connecting with mentors. Is there more that you could say, Marissa, on connecting with alumni?
Yes. So the Alumni Association has tried to make it as easy as possible for students to connect with alumni. And one of the tools that we've made available is the Maroon and Gold Network. The Maroon and Gold Network is a free online platform for career advice, networking, and mentorship. Any student or alum of the university can join. You can think of it almost as the University of Minnesota's own LinkedIn on steroids. And so once you join, you're automatically connected to the network of alumni, and all of the alumni on the platform have raised their hand to say, yes, I'm willing to help current students and fellow alumni with their academic and career goals. And they've gotten really specific in terms of the ways that they're willing to help, including advice on navigating graduate school, advice on transitioning to life after school, introductions to others in their field. And you can utilize the search features available on the Maroon and Gold Network to find alumni who match your interests. So you can search by academic background, you can search by industry, you can search by a location, a company or organization, or even a combination of all the above to get really tailored and specific. And there's currently 11,000 students and alumni already using the Maroon and Gold Network. So it's a really active place to be, to find people to connect with for the kinds of relationships that Cori and I are talking about. It's really easy to navigate, it's free. As a graduate student, you can also, give back as a mentor already on the platform to current undergraduate students. So if that's something that appeals to you, you can do that as well. But definitely check out the Maroon and Gold Network. It's a really great way to start finding those alumni connections today. Cori, can you give practical tips on how to navigate the mentor-mentee relationship once you find a mentor?
Sure. I think there's a lot of ways that you can navigate the relationship with the mentor. One, I think that a lot of us overlook is just leaning in with curiosity. A lot of times when we think, oh, I'm not ready to meet with a mentor, I don't have enough questions ready, or I don't have enough this or that ready to know what to talk about. I think it helps to just come in with curiosity, with genuine curiosity about the person's experience, their life, their goals, their motivation, because people love talking about themselves. That's human nature. So give them the space to do that. Show them that you're excited about what they're doing. You just want to know more about them. They're doing exciting things. They have exciting research. Ask them about where that comes from and what their journey has been. Ask for their story. I think it also helps to find common ground. So in listening to their story or Google searching them before meeting with them, find what are some common ground things that you can talk about to really build on those things, to build the relationship that much faster. And just recognize that it takes time and every person is different. And so some mentor relationships will just blossom immediately. You'll find all kinds of common ground. You just click and it makes sense and you can talk and talk and talk. And other folks, it'll be kind of awkward when you start out, and that's okay. Sometimes the common ground isn't really there. And so you take the time to build, see if it is a relationship to continue to pursue. Sometimes it won't be, and that's okay. But recognize that it will take time, because building relationships always take time. And be sure to share what's exciting about what you're doing. Share your accomplishments, share your fears, what are you feeling anxious about and nervous about in your program? What milestones are coming up? What ideas do you have for research? So share with them what's going on with you in your life and your story, and give them room and opportunity to give you advice.